All right, you want to count us in?
Yes. 3, 2, 1.
All right, Necro Electric, episode 1. I'm not going to lie, it's not the first time we've tried to rock this, but this is the one. Before we get into it, I got into a little altercation.
Ooh.
He hasn't even
told me.
What?
Right? Yeah, I told her I was
I'm saving it for the podcast. Like, this is how our relationship is now.
Nice.
And it's been chewing my ass ever since for a couple days, right?
Spill it.
All right, so this is what I want, though. I want to tell you guys the story, and then you tell me if I was justified in my actions and the guy was an asshole, or since it was a super trivial situation, maybe I overreacted and I'm the asshole.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
All right, so here's what happened.
I have a tendency to overreact, so
I have
we'll see.
Some character flaws. All right, but I'm working on it, right? So, and that's why it's bugging me, right? Otherwise, I wouldn't give a shit. All right, so I was coming to the warehouse, and I wanted to grab some breakfast. So, you got to hit up that McGriddle, dude. So I went into McDonald's. It's fucking super busy, right? And it's one of these fucked up McDonald's where they have the two ordering, and then you have to merge into the lane. And there's already a fuck ton of people.
Nobody knows what to do.
Ever, right?
Yeah.
So I pull in. I'm on the left side. There's an Asian lady on the right taking her order. There's a businessman, like an older guy, in an Audi behind her, and then a fuck ton of cars in between. So Asian lady does her order. She pulls up, so she's now blocking me, right? Mm-hmm. I do my order. I pull up to her, close, but whatever. Business dude does his order. He pulls up all the way to her fucking bumper.
Right? So that you can't get in.
Yeah, so I'm thinking.
He ordered after you?
Yeah, even though he ordered after me, and it's the fucking rules.
Yeah.
One goes. And
rules.
so I'm there, and I'm like, oh, look at this fucking guy, dude, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a fucking
Everybody's
problem.
angry, by the way. Everybody.
Right? Yeah, and
Just trying to get a McGriddle.
well, it's just you could tell the way this dude looked. He looked like an office manager or something, like an entitled asshole, right? So I'm staring at this guy, and I'm like, there's no fucking way. I was like, you know what? I always do this. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he just wanted to pull up close so the person behind him could do their order or whatever.
Yeah, sometimes I do that. That happens.
So I pull my truck up real close to the Asian lady. The Asian lady's ass of her car is right here. The front of his is here, and my truck is right here. So we're making a fucking trifecta right there, right?
Yeah.
And then there's a little bit of gap between her and the car in front. So she actually lets off a little bit because the dude's hella close. And then I nudge a little, and then he kind of goes quicker, right?
Oh gosh.
So I'm like, okay, clearly, and he's looking at me. I'm like, clearly, he's trying to fucking cut in line. And it's stupid, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm just gonna say something little, right? So my window's down, his is down. I lean out. I go, hey, you're cutting me off. I'm next in line. And he looks at me. He just looks forward, right?
Oh.
And I'm like, all right, we're gonna have a fucking problem, dude. And then the car pays or whatever, and then a whole car link starts to go up. So I start to go, and he just floors it right on her bumper, right? It's complete. Now he's blocking me. He's fucking blocking me, right? I can't go anywhere.
And both of those windows are like down, like you can see each other.
Yeah, literally. He's
awkward.
three feet. Now he's a little bit to my left, and he's completely blocked me. He's completely fucked me, right? And then I'm like, I always pick the wrong battles to fight. I'm not the kind of person that I let shit build up a lot. Yeah. And then the next motherfucker that happens to do anything, I go way overboard, right? So I'm trying not to do that.
Okay.
So I tell this guy, I lean out and I'm looking right at him, and I say, do you not know how this works? Or are you just stupid? Because you're cutting in front of me.
You said that to him?
Yeah, I fucking said it to him. And then he doesn't look at me. I know he can hear me. He's 3 feet in front of me, right? And I'm very loud. Everybody else can hear me, right? So he's ignoring me now. So now I'm getting enraged.
Dude, you should have gone.
I'm getting very fucking enraged, right?
And
then I'm like, all right, dude, you know what, man? And then I'm trying to think like, okay, I'm in my 30s. I have a son.
Okay.
I'm not trying to fucking like do anything crazy, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, do I really? And he's already won. He's already fucking blocked me and cut in front of me, right?
Okay.
So, and then I'm like, I'm trying to sit there for a second, and then I'm like, no. I'm at least gonna fucking tell him how I feel. So I lean out again, I'm like, well, I guess you're fucking stupid. Are you deaf as well? And then he fucking turns to me and he goes, nice language, buddy. And then I fucking just look at him and I go fuck yourself. And then he rolls up his window and fucking drives on, right?
Yeah.
So I just let it go, because, I mean, at that point, what am I going to do, right?
Yeah.
He was an asshole.
All right, so you think, so
Yeah.
I feel validated, right?
Because I could tell you something I did.
What'd you do?
I have issues with that shit, too. Like, people that cut in line,
Yeah.
people that don't follow the
Well, here's my thought on it, right? The dude looked like a fucking asshole. He looked like nobody's ever told him to go fuck himself in 15 years, right?
Okay.
He looked like somebody who manages an office, probably fucking dictates all this shit and
Everybody
fucking...
hates Gary.
Yeah, you know?
That's his name.
Yeah.
And, yeah, so I don't know. And my thought was, well, at least I fucking told him to go fuck himself, right? At least maybe he'll think about it, you know?
Maybe he won't do it
I think
next
he's
time.
obsessively thinking about it.
Probably.
I think so. I would have
Probably.
been, if I was been an
Yeah.
asshole like that, I would have been like,
It's like, no one's talked to
Why
me
didn't I
like
just-
that for years.
Yeah. He's probably like getting drunk over
Yeah.
it, like that night. You never know. He has issues.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm trying to be better. Like I said, I have a son now. That guy could be my kid's principal. I don't know what he does. You know what I mean? Like, in a couple years, we could go to some place and I have to fucking deal with this guy.
Yeah.
You know? So I'm trying not to do that.
Yeah.
But then at the
It's
same
kind of a smaller
time...
town, so you kind of got to be careful.
Yeah. But then at the same time, I think the times that we live in, people aren't calling people like that out on things. And now it's perpetuating, like, this total fucking entitlement fucking attitude, you know?
Dude, I worked with lawyers that don't like confrontation and they gotta go to court. I'm like,
How are you a lawyer and don't like confrontation? That's your job.
that's what I'm telling you.
That
The
is
nurses
so
and the
weird.
paralegals pull
They're
it
like, I'm a
together.
lawyer. I don't like drama.
Yeah. And I'm like,
Wouldn't be my lawyer, then. That's
yeah, these
You're
people,
fired.
It's ridiculous. I'm telling you, like, it's a softy world lately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like a lot of people are too afraid to like stand up for themselves because of all the crazy shit. People are getting shot. People are getting
That's
stabbed.
true.
Like you
Here,
never
everybody
know
has a
what's
gun
going, who has what. You know?
I hear people love their guns, man. They really do. They love their knives, and they will use it in self-defense. But it's all, like, if the guy would have pulled a gun on you, that would have been ridiculous at that moment.
Hey, you know, it happens. I've heard more ridiculous stories. So
Well, my truck was bigger than his Audi, so I would have just
you
fucking
ran him over.
Bigfoot that motherfucker. But
I want to tell you a mini story that I did too this past week.
all right,
Yeah.
let's hear
I
it.
kind of was fighting with my moral. Because, okay, we were at Panda, me and my husband. We were getting some dinner. We were hangry at this point because we got a late dinner.
Yeah.
And there was a line, and the line was crooked. It was like going, making an L shape, right? Here's where you order or whatever. So, you know, everybody comes in and you start getting in the line. So that's what we did. Then I see this guy, and he just stands there, and he looks kind of funny, like kind of slow. So I was like, whatever, maybe he'll get the thing. And then another guy comes in with two little girls. Okay, maybe they were like 5, 6. So I'm already looking at the line, and I'm like, I know that guy sees the line. And I'm like, he doesn't have 2 kids, though. And I look at my husband, and I don't say nothing because I don't want to know his opinion because he's always super nice about shit like that. But I was like, I'm fucking hungry. We've been waiting here like 20 minutes. And I was like, that guy's not moving. So we're moving up the line, and we're about to meet because he's just still standing there. And the other guy's still standing there, too. And there's like 2 teenagers in front of me. And so I finally get up there, and then I tell the guy, dude, the line's back there.
Yeah.
And I was like, sir, the line's back there.
Yeah.
Like, I fucking worked there.
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh, the guy with the kids, he's like, oh. And he looks at his kids, and he looks at me, and I was like, I just looked away. Sir, the line's back there. And he takes his kids. Because then I thought about this. What would I do with my 2 kids? Am I telling my kids I'm going to use them to cut in line? Like,
Right?
okay,
Yeah,
kid?
you would have took your kids to the
That's
line.
setting the wrong
in the
example
beginning.
for your kids.
Yeah, so I thought about it. I was like, fuck that guy. I'm hungry and not fuck his kids. But the kids don't know no better. They're like,
Yeah,
la, la, la.
of
They're
course.
just there waiting, you know, and they're not starving. They're not starving children.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't feel bad. Do I?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Fuck people that cut in lines, dude.
Yeah. See, I can't really relate with like Panda or McDonald's, but if you try and get between me and my Starbucks, you're going down.
Me and my sugar.
Down.
I've raged out at Starbucks a couple times.
Oh yeah.
Let's do some introductions too before we get too deep into this. My name is Sean Skellington. I'm a musician. I'm the singer of Last Name on the Coffin. This little sex kitten next to me, she's a fashion designer. She's the bride of Schonkenstein, Miss Kylie Skellington.
Hey everyone.
This one over here, she's our sound engineer. She's as good with a knife as she is her mixing board, so watch out. She's the fiery Susana Lopez.
Hey guys.
All right, and with our show, we're gonna have reoccurring themes or whatever. So, what is our theme of the day?
All right. Well, the theme of the day today is death.
Death.
Yes.
It's definitely one of my favorite subjects.
Yeah. It's a lot to it.
Yeah, fucking death. It's like all around us all the time. You can't like do anything. Like, and when you have a kid too, like we're new parents, sort of new parents. He's almost 2 now. But now I used to just do whatever the fuck I wanted. And now I start thinking about, like, even today I had to go drive for a couple hours and go do something. And I had to be on some country roads and shit. And I'm like, fuck, I hope I don't die or whatever. You know, I don't know.
Country road.
You got anxiety.
Yeah. I don't know. If you could, what do you think the worst way to die would be? Drowning, burning, buried alive, electrocuted?
God damn, those are all bad, but I think drowning would do it for me.
Drowning. I heard it's
Burning.
like you're euphoric, right? Like
Drowning?
When you're drowning. Have you ever come close to drowning? I did when I was a little kid.
Yeah, I have come
Really?
close to drowning.
Oh,
several
I haven't.
times.
What's it like?
Fucking, it's horrible, man. Like, I think that.
I was like maybe 4 or 5, and we had a little pool when we lived in Sonora, and I just, like, my mom never watched me or whatever, and I jumped into the deep end, right? Because I don't know, when you're little,
You think you're brave.
you think you could just do it, right?
Yeah.
And then I just sunk like a stone,
Damn.
and then Sam, my godfather, actually just pulled me up and out.
Yeah.
Me at the beach, I got bitch slapped by a wave and literally whoosh, it took me in and it knocked me out. I didn't
That's
know. I was
crazy.
drinking water and my grandpa pulls me out.
Oh, you weren't like aware you were in the water?
I got knocked out. I was like,
What?
I remember from that day was I was just walking across the beach playing with seashells and shit. You know, I
Yeah.
was little, like 6, 7. And then I see this big wave coming and then boom, I remember getting smacked, like my whole body. Like,
Yeah,
boom,
that would be kind of
knocked out.
scary.
And then,
Yeah.
you know, I'm getting taken away.
She
And,
just pulled
Yeah.
you under.
yeah.
For
Shit
me,
was
it would be
scary.
burning though, because water, that's not painful. I don't think it's probably as painful as burning.
Nah, yeah, burning would probably
Right?
last a lot longer.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. That's
I mean,
true.
I burned my thumb the other day cooking dinner.
Shit
Little tiny
hurts.
spot right there.
Shit
And it
hurts.
still hurts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a scar because of that too from the other.
Yeah.
Yeah, my dad actually died from being electrocuted.
Can't tell.
Yeah, that can't be fun either.
Nah.
I mean, I've been shocked before, but
You've been shot?
like shocked.
Oh, shocked.
Yeah,
I
like-
thought you said shot.
But no, I don't know how to fries your brain. I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah, I think it stops your heart when you're electrocuted. But
Oh,
Yeah.
probably.
yeah,
It
that's what I
does.
think. But I'm no doctor.
Yeah,
Would
alright.
would you guys rather be buried or cremated or fucking turned into a coaster?
Yeah. A cute coaster.
Buried?
Buried.
Buried. Yeah.
Oh man, I can't remember the name of the area, but I saw some shit on the news the other day that there's like this group of people, and forgive me, I should have fucking researched it, but I just thought about this. But they don't actually bury their dead until they have enough money to sacrifice water buffalo.
Oh shit.
So in some incidences, like their family will be with them for over a decade, and they dress the bodies and they give them cigarettes on their birthday, and they have little special houses that they
But
they keep them in.
the mummify
Yeah,
them or
they
something?
mummify 'em.
Okay.
Yeah.
But they had pictures and
Oh.
and apparently it's like super normal. But you're looking at these pictures and
Whoa.
it's fucking hardcore. It's hardcore. Like one dude's grandpa like died a decade ago, and like they have him in like a new like blue shirt.
That makes me
and,
nauseous.
like a hat and a fucking cigarette, you know.
Oh.
And they're like posing, and there's a couple couples with like, you know, babies that died, you know, real young
I can't
and
do
everything.
I couldn't do that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Did they do it to the pets?
No, I didn't see any pets in the thing. It was just loved ones. But it just said that basically, like, when you want to bury your loved ones, you need to sacrifice. It was like one or two water buffalo, and that, you know, whatever gives them the honor to ascend or whatever. But you know, some people can't afford the water buffalo, so they just.
I mean, where do I get one?
Yeah.
Here, wake up.
Yeah, but Google that shit. It's fucking for real.
Yeah,
I'm gonna Google that shit.
We'll have to find out where that is.
I need to watch a video so I can get freaked out.
Yeah. Oh man, have any of you guys ever come close to death? Have you ever like almost died, other than drowning?
Other than my drowning, no, I don't think so.
What about you?
The birth of our son was a ride and a half.
Yeah.
Didn't go very smooth, but you know.
Yeah, that was definitely one of the most
Yeah.
scariest times. For anybody wondering about it, like she had like I would say a pretty good pregnancy.
Oh no, the pregnancy was great. I was like, I didn't even have morning sickness. I was like, this is great.
She
I'm
like
gonna have 10 kids.
she was all gangster about it. She's like, I'm going in there, no fucking drugs.
Oh, yeah?
No anything.
Oh,
They're not.
no.
It's all natural. And we were in there for I don't know, like 8 hours or something.
6. It was
hours?
like 6 hours
And
before
you're-
I tapped out.
Yeah, she was like, I'm ready. I think I'm ready to have this baby. And the doctor like took a peek and he's like, no. She was like, you're not even close.
Yeah.
Damn.
And she's like, are you serious? I'm not even close. She's like, you're not even,
I'm ready.
you're not even close. And then she was like,
Damn.
she's like, nah, fuck it.
Yeah.
Hit me with the
Hit me with that
the back
medicine.
stuff. Yeah. And then it went pretty good. And then we got discharged the next day. We spent one day at home, and then some shit started happening. And then we left our baby with my mother-in-law, and we went back, and we were there for 3 days.
Yeah. 3
And it was fucking
Nice.
gnarly. And then they were like, okay, like we figured out what's wrong. We're gonna have 3 specialists come in. You guys are gonna be fine. Your wife will be in there for about half an hour.
Yeah.
This is like at 6 in the morning.
Half an hour.
And you know, it should go smooth. And then I'm sitting in there. We're waiting for the surgeons, and then like a whole fucking room of people keep coming in. More and more people all the fucking time. And I'm like, who are all these people? I thought it was like 3 people. And they're like,
Yeah.
oh, well, you know, we called this person for this and this person for that. Because she also had iron, something with the iron.
Deficiency?
I don't know. I don't remember like any of this.
Yeah, like basically they were worried she was
I was
going to like
out of it.
stroke out. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
it wasn't stable.
Oh, okay.
And then, yeah, by the time I left, there was like 20, no bullshit. There was like 20 people like going into that room
Yeah.
to do the surgery. I'm out in the fucking waiting room on the only
High
one.
blood pressure, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'm out in the waiting room, the only one out there. I haven't slept in like 48 hours, maybe longer. No caffeine. This, you know, it's California. At the time, we were living in California.
New dad.
Yeah, and like no caffeine. Everything's health conscious there, you know. And I just couldn't even function. And then I just start time traveling, right? Because it's supposed to be a half hour. And then I swear I blinked, and it had been an hour, and then now there's like 3 or 4 people around me. And I'm like, oh shit, you know. And then I blinked again. It's like another half hour, right? More people, and I blinked again. There's like the whole fucking room's full. And then I'm like, oh man, what's happening, you know? And then nobody's like, you can't go talk to them. The door's locked. So then a dude comes out, and I see like, you know, he's like, hey, Mr. Johnson, your wife is fine. Like, come talk to her, you know, come see her in a minute. And another guy comes out, grabs another dude, and I'm like, hey, you know, what about me? And they're like, oh, you know, we'll see what's going on. And then finally, the lady that was dealing with us comes out, and she's like, can I see you in my office? And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, are you fucking serious right now? I'm like,
You were thinking the worst,
I was
bet.
completely thinking
Yeah.
the worst. I was like, fuck. I'm like, a new first-time dad. My wife is dead. You know, like, I'm like, what am I going to do? You know, I'm thinking all this shit. I get in her office. She shuts the door. She sits down. then she's like, your wife is fine. You can go in and see her in 5 minutes.
I'm gonna reach across the table.
I mean, I was just like, why the fuck? I was like, why did you bring me in here? You know, and she was, you know, and that threw her off too, because, you know, I was aggressive about it. And she was just like, oh, I thought you would want some privacy, you know, and I'm like, no, nobody else got privacy.
Least of my worries,
What?
lady.
You're tripping me out.
Fine,
you know?
like, just tell me.
Yeah.
If you're watching this, F you, lady.
It fucked me up.
Yeah.
Damn.
But then, that was a scary.
Yeah.
And they basically told me, like, if it happened, like, in the early 80s, late 70s, what happened to her, that she would just die. She would have been dead. So, luckily, we lived in the, you know, the times that we live in. So, so we're all good.
Yeah, I remember I actually woke up during the whole operation, and I swear to God, there was like 30 people around me.
There was a super entourage.
It was really crazy.
Damn.
Anyways, you've had some brushes with death.
Yeah, my stats are stupid.
Yeah.
It's not even cool. Like,
that's good.
Just so I'll give you guys like the cliff notes. I've been in 14 car accidents, 13 as a passenger. Ooh. I grew up in an alcoholic home. Whole family has issues, and they love to smash fucking cars. I've been in 2 cars that have had people. One guy fired a shotgun into the car. The other guy fired 2 .45 rounds that went into the car. And, you know, luckily I've dodged all that.
You have 9 lives.
I had a piece of glass go through my hand, sever my artery.
How many is that? That's
I had
4.
I mean, I've been in a lot of bar fights. I've been in a lot of shady, stupid situations.
I don't know how you're here.
I shattered my left leg.
I'm glad both
at one of my shows.
Look at it.
And when I shattered my left leg, I broke my fibula from my fibula and my tibula from my kneecap to my ankle.
Oh.
And then I dove off a PA rig.
God damn, I don't know how you are alive.
I bounced off this Samoan guy, came down on my left leg, and it just.
You should see the X-ray.
Yeah, the doctor said
like
it looked like
Robo Man.
Like somebody took an axe to it, right?
I want to see it.
And then I'll bring it.
God.
I'll bring it.
Yeah,
behind
I'll post
the
it.
scenes.
We'll post it right
has
here,
it.
right?
Oh gosh.
And
yeah.
And then I stood up and I tried to walk on it, and I put bone shards through all my cartilage. And then
cringe every time.
Yeah, so they ended up having to they took me to the hospital, all my friends, and then sorry, I've been a little sick. They took me to the hospital, and then a nurse gave me a little bit of morphine, and then asked me if I was still in pain, and I was like, yeah, I'm super pain. So then she had an intern come and give me more, and he just came over and hit me with the whole syringe instead of like dripping it, you know. Literally, you want to talk about death? I felt a darkness, like right because he hit it. I looked at her and I saw her expression.
Yeah.
And then he looked back and he looked scared, and she said, "Did you give him all that?" Oh. Right? And then I thought, he just killed me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Damn, that shit's scary.
That's your murderer.
Oh God.
And then I felt a darkness, right? Just, you know, because I never really messed with morphine or anything before either. You know, I never had like a major surgery like that. And I just felt it coming over me. And then it was just lights out, and I fucking fell off the gurney.
Oh my
and then I woke up and I was on the x-ray thing.
Did you know him then?
No,
we hadn't met yet.
I think that was like 2 years before we met. 3.
Yeah, 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I couldn't walk for like 6 months after I had the surgery.
Jesus.
Yeah, it was gnarly. Now I'm good. I got synthetic cartilage, 16 screws, 10-inch metal plate.
Every time you go through a, what do you call those?
Metal
security
detector.
check? Yeah.
Don't you need like a letter from the doctor to fly?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
Which is a
Special
good reminder.
forces.
Yeah, we need to get one of those.
We're going to go to Mexico
We're going to go to
soon,
Mexico for Christmas.
Woo, that sounds good. Yeah, have fun. Mexico,
Yeah.
Christmas in Mexico is fun.
All right. So, yeah, those are my... I mean, I have other stupid stuff I did when I was like a teenager, and, you know.
Did you ever almost overdose?
No, like when it comes to drugs, I wasn't really into drugs. My family, I come from a lot of junkies are in my family and all that kind of stuff, alcoholics. And for like a good portion of my life, I try to stay away from it. And then I had a portion of my life where I did drink a lot. I'm Irish, you know, and my friends are heavy drinkers, and I had a rough stint. And then pretty much right about the time I met her, I was like, all right, I'm gonna start tapering this off. I mean, I had a couple.
Well, we got into a couple.
Yeah.
A couple drinking arguments.
Yeah.
Oh man,
And then
those are
it
the
started
worst.
settling down.
Yeah, we had one of those too. Like, chill.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kraken, like the Kraken rum.
So
I normally drink Jameson on the rocks. It's like my drink of choice.
Oh.
And if I'm like gambling, I like Red Bull and vodka.
Yeah.
But if I'm partying,
yeah.
Just stay alert.
I like Kraken rum.
I don't know what Kraken rum is.
It's like 100 proof rum.
It's like the same as Sailor Jerry, but it's a dark spiced rum.
Oh, okay.
Made by the same people.
Oh, okay.
Is it by the same people?
But
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's fucking
I never had
delicious.
it.
And oh my god, if you mix it with root beer, it's like you don't even know there's alcohol in it. It's
Damn,
like the
that's
easiest
dangerous.
drink to drink.
Dangerous.
But it gets you like if I had like 6 or 7 shots of that rum or mixed drinks or whatever, like I'll fight Mike Tyson. Like I'm ready.
You probably would.
Like full heavy metal fury. Like,
Oh my
like
god.
I feel like unstoppable when I'm drinking rum.
Yeah,
So I don't drink it anymore. But
that's me with tequila.
Like
Yeah.
Malibu rum.
oh yeah.
yeah.
This one, last time, speaking of Mexico,
Yeah.
she
That's
went.
not-
She went to.
That's not-
I'll have to see if I can
This
pull
is
up
a
the
do-over
pictures.
for me.
Yeah, I seen the picture. I wasn't there. It was before we met, but she went
No,
to.
we met.
Did we meet?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Oh wait, no, we didn't. You just
Some
saw
other
my
guy.
Mexico pictures,
I always
and
say
we're
that.
talking about them.
Yeah.
My
Well, I
husband-
saw the pictures. Right. Actually, it was on your Facebook, right?
Yeah.
So when we first started dating.
It
Yeah,
still is on my
I
Facebook.
looked it on it, and there's pictures of her getting dragged onto this cruise ship by her sister and mom and aunt
No,
and
it's
shit.
my mom and my aunt.
Yeah. 'Cause
Literally, they each have one arm,
Oh.
and I'm just like this.
Hey,
she
good
lost her
times.
passport, so they had to smuggle her
Oh,
onto the
shit.
I don't
fucking
know how they got
ship.
me back on the boat.
This
Someone
was a
stole
long
my
time
wallet.
ago.
Yeah. Yeah. A way long time ago.
I didn't just lose my passport. Someone stole my fucking wallet. Okay.
I bet somebody stole your shit.
They did.
Well, if you wouldn't have spent so much time upside down taking fucking tequila shots.
Yeah.
Look at some of these photos, dude.
Yeah, drinking was a thing of mine. When I was really young though, I don't think I was like maybe 13. I got into some drugs, some huffing, puffing shit. And I think if I hadn't stopped when I stopped, I think I would have fucking killed myself.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Like, talk about hallucinations and shit. I mean, I was having it all. I could see myself in my mirror
That's
talking to
rough.
myself. And that person,
Really?
and that shit. I was like, I felt conscious, like super conscious.
Yeah.
Right? A little high. I was high, but I looked at the mirror and I started seeing my reflection talking to me and laughing at me. And like evil,
that's
like an
fucking-
evil
You're like,
spirit. And I was like,
Get out.
fuck. Like, you know, I mean,
Yeah.
right now it's, I guess, funny to think about that shit, but at the moment, I avoided years to ever tell anybody that I ever did anything. I was so embarrassed, so ashamed of myself. I took x-rays, looked at my lungs, and there was like spider web looking things
Oh
going
my
in my
gosh.
lungs. I was like destroying my lungs
Really?
and fucking my brain up and
Wow.
all kinds of shit. And I was only 13. I was like, fucking idiot.
Rough.
My parents went through a divorce, so like everything bad started happening around the time that they were fighting and all kinds of
Yeah.
crazy shit.
Divorce is hard on kids.
Yeah.
Super hard.
And, you know, violent shit was going on at home,
Yeah.
and it was,
Yeah.
we were just alone a lot, and, you
Yeah.
know, got into crazy shit. So I think that could have led me to die, actually,
Yeah.
if I continued with those fucking kids, too, that I was hanging out with. So,
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of the same way. Like, I had a point in my life where I wasn't making the best choices, and honestly, like, I think if I hadn't met him, I'm not really sure if I'd be here.
see.
Yeah.
Yeah, should have stood down
Yeah.
the dark road.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can be rough. Let's see. Do we have a? We're obviously this is our first podcast,
It is.
so we're gonna sponsor ourselves.
Yeah.
So, what's our first sponsor?
Yes, the one and only Dark and Jury Clothing. Dark and Jury is edgy fashion and lifestyle brand that embraces great design and unsurpassed quality. Dark and Jury has quickly gained a following amongst fans of occult, horror, punk rock, heavy metal, and all-around free thinkers and retailers worldwide, without shoving a preachy, trendy, or political message down your throat. So buy the best, fuck the rest, darkandjuryclothing.com.
Yeah. I'm not going to fucking pitch you on this shit, but it's occult clothing. It's made out of the best shit that you can buy, basically. Like, it's no mall shit, you know? Like, take all the shit you bought at the mall, set it on fire, go to my website, check it out, you know? Or don't, I don't care.
Boom.
All right, here's a gun to your head question.
Oh, gosh.
If you could bring back one person from the dead, who would you bring back?
Marilyn Monroe.
Marilyn Monroe?
Okay.
Just because I think her story's sad, and she was very much an icon, but I feel like maybe back then there wasn't a lot of opportunity for mental health help. Even though supposedly she had somebody to talk to and all this BS, but in her documentary, there's like 2 people that she might have been like close to.
I need
It
to
didn't
watch
work
this documentary.
Do you think,
seen
though,
it.
like, Marilyn Monroe would be Marilyn Monroe? Like, because, you know, back then, people had 4 TV channels, and she was, like, you know, kind of, she walked that edge, you know what I mean? She wasn't a Betty Page, where she took it over the edge, but she was, like, on the wire, you know what I mean? As far as, like, bringing sexuality to the forefront and all that.
Yeah.
Nowadays, with all the bullshit, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe she would have, with this Me Too movement, maybe she would have been into some shit. I think she would have been in that movement, too.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Like, I think she was a really sweet person.
Yeah.
The more you learn about her, read about her. But I think she would have been an icon still, but maybe a little different, you know, with more power, I want to say, to defend herself, her person.
Yeah. I mean, I opened my Instagram today, and she's very tame compared to some of these people.
Yes.
I just scroll, and
very
I'm like,
classy.
oh, hey.
I don't know, man.
Classy, you know.
Isn't that weird? We live in a time like I'll open up my Instagram, you know, I'll be next to her or something, and I'll open it up, and then it'll just be like some fucking chick just like spread eagle, like, hey. And then I feel like, oh fuck, you know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
I'm doing something wrong, you know what I mean?
That shit.
You know, like
what are you
like all of a sudden I
looking
feel guilty, you know?
Yeah.
And I try to fucking shut it real quick. I'm like, oh fuck.
What you think?
You know, like, I don't know.
It's true. Those
Not that she's
fucking
like,
ads.
you know, like,
Well, it's kind of a double standard, too. Like, it's just women. Like, the men aren't doing that.
I always agree. I always tell my husband, look, I fucking hate that there's no sexy pictures of men being
Right?
put out there like that.
well, you
but
got
there
like
is a
You
women.
scroll and you got 50,000
You got, like-
women and then
Right.
some gay dude, and that's it.
Yeah.
well, you
what
got
do I do?
Jason Momoa. I see that shit on Instagram
Okay,
all the time.
celebrities don't count.
Oh, yeah.
Celebrities do
Yeah,
not
because
count.
like the Instagram girls,
Yeah.
right? There's such thing. Why?
Yeah.
Maybe there's
Instagram
Instagram
models.
guys,
Yeah.
but I've never had no pop up on my shit with
Yeah.
Instagram guy. Always
We're following the wrong
Instagram
people.
girl or something.
You guys are looking at the wrong hashtag.
I'm like, what the fuck?
Hashtag fucking Instadong. or
If
something.
you're a male Instagram model, give us your handle
Yeah,
in the comments.
and then she
Sorry,
can open
Abby.
her phone and I'll be like, what? the
Yeah,
fuck?
what are you looking at?
Well, you gotta be fair. A little bit of feminism, hey.
Yeah. Who would you bring back?
Oh, I would bring back Chi Chang.
Deftones bass player.
Yeah, I'm a huge Deftones fan. Absolutely love Deftones. Best
Cute.
band ever. Chi died very, very sadly.
Right in our backyard, basically,
Yeah,
in
I
Santa
mean,
Clara,
Yeah, we used to live in
San Jose.
Santa Clara County, and you know, I really want to hear all this music that they wrote together during his last moments here that they never released. And he was in a coma for a long time, and they're like, oh, if he comes out of the coma, like, we'll release it. Unfortunately, he didn't come out of the coma and never released it. But, you know, I love that band. I've had some, like, some of my best memories, some of my craziest memories listening to them. They got me through everything.
And that's a good choice because he's a guy that continue to bring joy to people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard like picking. Like if it was like like music, like if you brought back Jimi Hendrix like today, like what would he do?
That'd be kind of crazy.
He would tear it up.
Yeah.
Or like actor wise, you bring back like James Dean or something, like
I
like
still
what
wonder
would those fuckers do nowadays? Like I just wonder like in modern society in their prime.
Yeah. How would they?
Would they still stand out like they did back in the day?
I don't think so.
I think they would need to give it a. I think they would change. They would have to change a bit.
And then, like personally, like it'd be like me and my dad. Like my dad was like an outlaw, and he murdered a dude and did all kinds of fucking shady shit, and was never really in my life. And he died. So like I don't know, in my head it'd be like, oh, do I bring him back and try to get to know him? But then he was kind of an asshole. He beat my mom up and shit. So
Yeah.
But I would bring back. I was a tattoo artist for 10 years, and I tattooed, more times than I could count. His name was Cody Brown. He was from Livermore, California.
Great kid.
Sorry. I'm like trying to grab it without making noise.
Yeah, that's all right. He was like everybody's biggest fan. I don't know. That's like my gut feeling. If I had to bring back one person, I'd bring back that kid. He died tragically on the highway, I-5. A tractor trailer, the axle broke and the tire flew off and it hit him in the windshield and crushed him, killed him on impact.
While he was taking his mother to a doctor appointment. Yeah.
I mean, that's the kind of guy he was. He used to play in a metalcore band, and he was in a tuner car club, and I don't know, he was just a good dude, man. He'd like come by all the time just to shoot the shit, and anytime I would, because I'm always doing something, like at the time I was playing shows, he would come to the shows. He just anything we do, I've never met a person that's been so supportive of everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I never met anybody that was like, fuck that guy,
Yeah.
So I feel like if I brought him back, he would either do something great or inspire somebody else to do something great.
For sure. That's
so
inspired you, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think about him all the time.
Yeah.
So
he'd be the first one to like and subscribe, which he should do too.
Yeah, he'd be texting me like, hey, let me get on this. Like, so I don't know. I kind of miss that guy, and that's what I would do.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, we're coming up on the end of our show here.
Are we?
Yeah.
Well, let's see. We should have another sponsorship, right?
Yes. Miss Skellington's very own Mod Ministry. Mod Ministry merch creates for the edgy woman, the kind of woman who works hard but plays much harder, who embraces femininity but tests the societal limits. We are not for the faint of heart. We are bold. We are beautiful. Check out the Mod Ministry Etsy page for handmade harness lingerie. 5-star rated seller since 2014.
If you want some sexy shit, if your relationship isn't going great, fucking strap on some of this shit, dude.
You want to impress your man?
Yeah, you want to get shit lit, dude?
Yeah.
That's how you get it going.
You want to get a man?
Well, and even if you're like a burlesque dancer or like a stripper or anything.
Tons of burlesque dancers, pole dancers.
All her shit's handmade in our warehouse. She has a
in
workshop.
this room next door.
So as I was saying before, we're gonna have reoccurring features at the end of our show. Once we get where we're at, we're gonna have something called Life in the Comment section, where basically we're gonna scour our Patreon, our Instagram, Facebook, blah blah blah, and we're gonna look in all the comment sections, and we're gonna pick 2 comments, and we will rip them apart or talk good about them. Yeah.
Thumbs up.
Why don't you pop off this first one?
Yes, from the Instagram, Living the Life. If you guys were based in Austin, I would be glad to jump in on this. Cool guy, thumbs up emoji.
Okay. Living the life. he lives in Austin. Austin's pretty cool. Like, we're from originally like the San Jose, California area. We grew up in the Bay Area, and we moved to Texas about 6 months ago. 4 months ago.
4 months ago.
4 months ago. Some time ago.
We're noobs.
And we checked out Austin. Austin's probably the closest city as far as like reminding me of home. You know, Dallas is pretty close, but I think Austin's got it's a bunch of hipsters and shit. So
It's a lot of everything.
Yeah, it
I really
feels
like it.
more. There's a lot of water there for some reason.
Yeah.
So
It's really pretty.
You know.
Yeah, I like it.
And my cousin, shout out to Macy and Steven.
Yeah.
They live out there.
Yeah. We got to go out there soon.
Yeah. But as far as jumping in, cool guy. Yeah, I guess.
Well, hey, you're kind of in it now, right? You kind of jumped on in here.
Made history.
Thanks for the comment.
First comment.
All right, what's our next
All
one?
right, so our next comment comes from Facebook, and it's from somebody from your past.
My past?
Kind of present. I mean, you don't really see each other anymore. Don't look. It's from Shipwreck Kelly.
That motherfucker, dude.
Yes. And this is what
What did he
he
write?
has to say. Hurry up with this shit already. Haha, miss you, homie. And hey, Kylie. Hey, Kelly.
Fucking Kelly, dude. You fucking dickbag. Kelly's a cool dude, though. Is he? He's in my top
Is he a cool dude?
20, maybe top 100 favorite people.
Top 100?
He's somewhere in the top 100. I met him in Louisiana. We were tattooing at a tattoo shop, and we ended up becoming buds. And then he's from North Carolina, Asheville. And then he ended up, his girlfriend at the time was a girl named Gabby, and they ended up moving out to California, and we all worked at the same shop out there. And I spent years listening to he has a super fucking twang. It's so annoying. And so does Gabby. So he'd be like, hey, motherfucker. Like, literally, that's how he talks. I make fun of him every day. Gabby, get my laptop, Gabby. Every fucking day, dude. But, nah, I miss you, dude. Fucking, he moved back and got into a motorcycle accident and broke his dick or something. I don't know. I don't know.
Hope not, poor guy.
I'm pretty sure.
I'd like to meet you someday, Kelly. Let's just.
I don't even think it worked really, anyways. So it's not that big a deal.
Gabby, let's ask Gabby.
Ask Gabby.
I'm kidding. I'm sorry. I don't even know you, Kelly.
Yeah, no, but he would actually be funny if we brought him in on this.
Yeah.
It would just be a whole show of me and him talking shit to each other, but
Didn't.
you know.
I'm sure he'll have something to say in the comment section.
Yeah. All right, we'll bring your ass out, dude. All right. So we hope you enjoyed it. Let's talk a little bit about Patreon. I'm a huge fan of podcasts. I subscribe and support all my favorite podcasts on Patreon.
Podcast, go.
My favorite podcast would be Tiger Belly.
Favorite podcast.
Joe Rogan.
Tiger Belly.
Tiger Belly. I also like Stevee Wee Bee, and Stevee Wee Bee actually featured my T-shirt.
Yeah.
The Frank and Stitches shirt. So shout out to Stevie. Theo Vaughn's this past weekend. And fuck, what else? I don't know. The Fighter and the Kid.
The ginger one.
Yeah, Whiskey Ginger.
Whiskey ginger.
Whiskey Ginger's good too. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are all fucking badass. Check those all out. But one complaint that I would have is that nobody really goes the extra mile on their Patreon. They kind of do bare minimum shit. With us, you're going to see exclusive full episodes, real behind the scenes shit. If we do a podcast on the Patreon, it's going to be something special, somebody special. Also, we want to interact with you guys if you guys want to.
Yeah.
It's cheap as fuck. I think it's like $3 for our first tier, and that gets you access to all of our exclusive stuff. Obviously, we're gonna shout out any of our new Patreons' names at the end of our episodes.
Yeah.
And in the different tiers, you get different shit. So I think tier 2 will actually give you Necro Electric merch. And I think the third tier, you can call and be part of the show. Ask us questions.
Bring it on.
You know,
Anything
we'll pull you up.
want.
We'll pull up your video. We'll put you wherever, you know. So we definitely want to have a lot of fun with that. We're going to be publishing it every week. And so add us on all the social media things. Go to necroelectric.com. That's where you can find everything that we were doing. And it's been fun. You know?
Yeah, liked it.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll see you next time, guys.
Cheers.